Hey beauties, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As a professional makeup artist, I am sharing today my makeup routine for dry skin. That means I'm going to share tips on what to apply, how to apply, and in which order. Sharing as well some products that I think are working super well on dry skin. If you want to avoid having flaky skin, patchy skin, a foundation that is peeling and cracking after just a few hours or even an hour, follow along this routine and I promise you guys, this is a foolproof routine and this is the makeup look I have created. And I have a dry skin, so I think from experience I can share this routine and say it's going to be working on you. So as a first step and a non-neglectable step, so you've done your skincare routine, and I have to say I am using the new Lift cream from Chanel. So it's the Lift collection, the oil in cream moisturizer, and oh my god, what a game changer. It is honestly, it's a little bit pricey. I think it's £70. I got it at the airport, so I think it's actually probably a little bit more expensive because at the airport it's cheaper. It's got my skin so plump and hydrated. It's honestly, my morning routine has changed. I used to use a different cream and now I'm using this one. It has plant in it that is not quite like retinol, but it's supposed to be effect like retinol, so it's helping to lift and plump the skin and reduce the appearance of fine lines and really work on helping to clarify and unify your skin color, skin tint. And so, you know, all the little patches, the sun patch or discoloration, it's supposed to be helping for it. I don't know if that's just marketing or true, but it's honestly, as a moisturizer go, it is honestly amazing. I've been blown away, and I saw my dermatologist this week on Monday, and she was asking about the moisturizer I'm using because she said my skin is looking really hydrated. So I think that's a really good sign. So now I've done my moisturizing. I've applied my sunscreen factor 50 every day, even if it's cloudy, even if it's raining. I apply sunscreen, non-neglectable. I'm coming with my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream because if you have a dry skin, you really need to prep your skin correctly because otherwise it will be peeling. Especially now, well, here anyway, it's much colder. I am in my makeup studio and I've just turned on the heating, and honestly, I think it's 10 degrees in here. It is 10 degrees Celsius. It is really cold. So hopefully there's a bit of sunshine. I hope it's gonna warm up really quick because it is freezing in here. Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. It is one of my best. It's a holy grail. If you have a dry skin, this is the small tub that I got, and it's close to a year old. Not quite, but close. It's good value for money, honestly. It really plumbed the skin. It's packed with water and glycerin, so your skin is going to retain the moisture basically, and it's not going to dry out during the day. Moving to primer, because you need to prime your skin correctly. I'm going to use two different primer before I go with my foundation. So DIOR Forever the Velvet Veil as a base. Just one pump is enough for all of my face. And if you have a very dry skin, you should consider using the dermaplaning tool, a dermaplaning tool. You can do it at home. You can do it with your dermatologist or esthetician. It doesn't matter. They do it professionally, or you can do it at home. I do it myself. I bought my Derma Flash tool, and it's going to remove the layer of dead skin on your face. So it's a mechanical exfoliation, and you don't have to do it so often. You won't have to exfoliate your skin with an exfoliator, you know, twice a week. and it's really good for your skin. It really helps. So it removes the peach fuzz, but it removes the layer of dead skin, you know, like the little flaky piece of skin. If you have a very dry skin, chances are you probably have a few dry patches. It's going to help. So by removing it, your skin is going to regenerate itself a little bit faster. And if you use a retinol or tretinoid, it will really help your skin. So these are all part of a good routine for dry skin. So the second primer I'm going to use is the one from Chanel, Les Beige. So that was the collection from last year, Les Beige, and it's shade Icy Beige. And it's packed with skincare and hydration. It's a healthy winter glow primer, moisturizing and protective. And it's got a really nice little radiance, not necessarily sparkle, but it's got a really nice glow to it. And it's really going to keep your skin super hydrated. When you have a dry skin, I would say tend to stay away from powder products. So ideally don't use a compact powder foundation, go for a liquid foundation. You're going to minimize the risk of having patchy and flaky foundation throughout the day. Same with powder. So if you want to set your makeup, use a loose powder, not a compact one. It's going to help massively your complexion. Speaking of complexion, so I've let my product dry completely on my skin. Super important. It has to be absorbed and dry onto your skin before you go in with your foundation, because it might turn out to be patchy if you don't leave the product to dry long enough. So I am using foundation from GUERLAIN, the Parure Gold Skin Matte. It is matte, but it's packed with skincare. So it is a foundation, no transfer, high performance, 24-hour care and wear. And it's got white peony in it. So super smooth on the skin, super gentle. Good if you have a sensitive skin. It's matte, but it's not drying. So, you know, on the spectrum of the matte, you've got the NARS matte, that is the most matte foundation I've ever seen. If you have a dry skin, forget it. It's just going to crack on your face. Charlotte Tilbury, the airbrush, is quite dry as well. The YSL All Hours, quite dry as well. So I would say if you have a super dry skin and flaky skin, stay away from these ones. Guerlain is actually really good, or the other one from Le Teint by Terracotta, Guerlain, is super good. Lancôme, the Care, Wear and Care, extremely good foundation if you have a dry skin. So you do have a few options, or you can go for something that is more of a serum-like foundation. Say Beauty is extremely good. L'Oreal has some amazing foundation. So you do have options. So I'm going with this one, and I'm going to use my beauty blender. I just think it applies better when you have a dry skin. You really press it onto your skin instead of dragging and moving everything under. I'm just gonna come here, do this side first. So see how it is super radiant, and it's a buildable foundation. So if you like to have a full coverage, you just apply a second layer and you're good to go. So see the difference? It's a really nice foundation. Hydration around your eyes is equally important. So I am using right now La Prairie, the Skin Caviar Luxury Eye Cream. It works really well for me. It really hydrates. I don't like to use my moisturizer because I think it's a little bit too thick. I prefer to use an actual eye cream to hydrate around my eye. Even though I want to have a lot of hydration, I need something that is a little bit more light. Obviously, there's plenty of options out there. Lancôme, the Eye Genifique, is super good. The Inkate list has some super good option as well if you want something a little bit more budget friendly. For me right now, La Prairie is really the one that I'm liking. But you have so many options. I just think it's important to not neglect the skin around your eye, because obviously it's very thin, it's very fragile, it's much more sensitive. So just a little bit of cream morning and night. Just go tapping motion, don't rub too much. Be gentle with your skin basically. For my concealer, I am using WESTMAN Atelier, the Vital Skincare Concealer, and I'm using it because it is packed with skincare. It's actually really working. It helps to reduce the appearance of fine lines, if you have any dark circles, and because there is skincare, it's an actual active concealer. So the ingredients in it are working while you are wearing your concealer. And I am using shade Light 2, so quite light, but I love to have brightness under my eyes. As you can see, I don't come super high, I really keep it a little bit more low. And then just with my brush, with what's left on the brush, I'm gonna come higher. Because like this, you really minimize the risk of creasing. And this this concealer, sorry, is self-setting. It blurs, it dries really, really quick. So you do have to be a little bit quick when you apply it. And I don't like to have a line, so I just come over with my beauty blender that has a little bit of foundation left, and I'm usually just gently coming over and blending the two products together. So I'm keeping a lot of brightness, but there's no line where you see where the concealer starts and stops. Same thing on this side. Very gently. Same thing, I'm gonna use my beauty blender and just come over. Not super high, just where at the top of the cheek where you want to keep some brightness, but not too much. You don't want to be too far away from your foundation. I'm going to add a little bit of bronzer. I'm going for a cream product. This is the DIOR Forever Glow Maximizer. I have bought all the shades when they came out this summer because I honestly think it's one of the best products you can have out there. This is shade Bronze. It's a multi-use product. So I like to use it as a bronzer, but you could use it as a blush, eyeshadow, whatever your heart desire. Got a brush here. These are the Spectrum brush with KGH. Whoops. And they are made for products that are cream or powder. It doesn't matter. So this is such a good brush. Very versatile, good to have in your makeup kit. Or you could use your beauty blender equally. And because the top of the brush, the bristles are really, really fine and loose, it's not going to move your foundation, which is a really good thing. Just like this, I'm just warming up a little bit the skin and adding radiance to it as well. Now I'm going to apply just a little bit on my cheek, but quite low. So obviously it's not a contour, but I'm kind of using it a little bit as a contour. It's kind of a hybrid between my bronzer and my contour. So I'm gonna come just higher on the cheek because it's not just contouring, but I like that it defines a little bit just here on the side. So same thing on this side. Coming quite high, adding a bit of definition. And it does have a lot of radiance as well, so that's quite nice. For my blush, because obviously if you have a dry skin, I would say stick to cream product, not only exclusively, but It will really make a big difference if you are using cream product for the majority of your product. So I'm using my Beauty Blush 1. This is Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury, and it's shade Dream Pop. So it's quite a bright, close to be a bright red. And I feel like there's a lot of red blushes coming out. So Armani Beauty has this Luminous Silk blush. There is a flamingo red shade that I have to try it. Chanel has a cream blush that is rouge. I forgot the name, but is a proper red as well. The product may have dried a little bit in here. So I'm just gonna apply some like this, and with my brush just smudge it. You don't want to apply too much because it's such a punchy color. You're gonna end up with a very bright red cheek. And this blush is completely matte, even though it's a cream blush. It dries completely and it is matte. So you're gonna have a nice mix between the radiance of the DIOR Glow Maximizer Bronzy that we've applied here, and you're just adding a little bit of something matte on top of it. I filled up my eyebrows off camera. Now I want to add a little bit of contour on my nose. So I'm using the Contour Trace Face Trace Contour Stick from WESTMAN Atelier in its shade Biscuit. And I'm using my mirror, so literally just here on the side, like this. And I'm going to use my brush here. I am dropping everything today. I don't know what is going on. I'm very clumsy today. That's my nose contoured. I don't do more than this. I don't think it needs more anyway. And now I'm going to set my face. To set my face, I do it in 2 steps. So when we have dry skin, I think it's better to set your face. Once you've applied all of your cream product, I go over with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, and I go with 3 pumps basically in my mouth. So I'm gonna let that sit and dry completely before I apply any powder. With experience, I think this is a better order to set your product on your face. If you apply your cream product, you set it with your setting spray and then add your powder. You can always come at the end and add a little bit more setting spray, up to you. But for me, what's really important is to really set the cream product, because you don't want them to move. You want them to be completely set, completely dry on your face, and then you go over with some powders wherever you need to add some powder. For my powder, I'm going to use 2 different powder, and I'm going to explain to you why. I want to set my under eye, so I'm going to use my Givenchy Prisme Libre in shade Voile Rosé, and I'm going to set it with a small brush, making sure there is no crease, and that's all I'm going to set here. So it's literally just to be blurring my under eye and really setting my concealer. So you can already see the difference. It dims down a little bit the concealer because you've added a little bit of that pink shade. It blurs really nicely. And it's making sure that your concealer is not going to move throughout the day, even though I am pretty confident that this concealer is not going to move. I'm just putting all the chances on my side. And I'm going just with a fine brush because there's no need to go with anything else when you're using the Vital Skincare Concealer from WESTMAN Atelier. Now there are other areas on my face that I like to set with powder, and it's not so much just for setting, but it's to blur a little bit the pores. and to reduce the shine on the T-zone. So I am using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish, and it's shade 1 Fair. So it is a perfecting micro powder, so it's not going to dry, it's not too heavy. I did say stay away from the compact powder, but this is not a drying powder, it's a finishing powder. So it's not meant to set completely and dry and make it look cakey. It's really just a finishing powder. So usually just here where we have a little bit of a bigger pores and I don't want the shine, so then on the T-zone and just here. That's it. I'm not adding powder anywhere else. So forehead, chin, and just here on the side. That's it. The rest I'm keeping the glow. I like it quite natural. Well, natural, I mean, it's not natural, but I want to keep that skin-like effect. I don't want to add too much powder anywhere else. For my eyes, I'm going to go with something very easy to do. This is the liquid eyeshadow, cream eyeshadow from Armani Beauty, and it's shade 10. It's called the Eye Tint. It's kind of a taupe shade. I absolutely love this shade. It's such a good neutral basic shade to have. So just applying it all over on my mobile lid directly from the applicator, just like this. And you just gotta make sure that you let it dry completely before you do anything else. And you can literally take your finger, smudge it a little bit so you don't have a sharp line. And you kind of spread it a bit over. And that's it. As simple as this. Eyes are done. So I finished my other eye with the Armani Eye Tint, and I've added line of eyeliner. This is the Eyeliner Glide Luster Glide from Chantecaille, and it's shade Earth. So it's not brown, it's not gray, it's not purple. It's just that weird in-between shade that I absolutely love. So I've been using it quite a bit, to be honest, and my mascara, and that's it for the eyes. I think it's looking darker here on the camera than it is in person, but I love that kind of look. Now I'm going to say and share something with you guys. If you are considering doing injections, so on your face, obviously, lips or face, Botox or fillers, it's hyaluronic acid. If you have a dry skin, injection like this will help massively your skin. However, I'm not saying go get injection because you have dry skin. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying if you are considering it, or if you're keen to explore, in my case, it has helped massively, and I have no problem saying I do have injection. I will be making a video about it. I think there's still a lot of, not taboo, but I have fillers, but you don't have to look like you have fillers to have fillers. It doesn't need to be showing this much, you know. I think there's a lot of misconception and misunderstanding around the product. But if you do have them, it will help massively your skin. If your lips are always dry, a little bit of injection in your lip, because hyaluronic acid is basically water in a different form with other product, obviously, but it will help to retain the moisture, and it's going to give that plump look if you don't go over the top, but it's going to help with keeping the skin a little bit more hydrated. Same thing if you have injection and Botox all over your face. Now, speaking of lips, I'm going to do my lips. I'm going to overline my lip with my Dior Rouge Contour shade 303 and it's Beige Attitude. I need to sharpen my pen. Pen has been sharpened and I'm going to overline my lips. This is very close to the Makeup Forever artist pencil, the Endless Cacao shade. I think the difference is the one from Makeup Forever has a little bit more gray into it, and this one feels a little bit more brownish without being brown. For the last piece of the puzzle, my lipsticks, I am using the Dolce & Gabbana liquid lipstick, and this is shade Gratitude. They are extremely long lasting, very similar to Charlotte Tilbury, but just a tad better. And look at how beautiful this shade is. So this is the final look, and I hope you've enjoyed watching today's video. Obviously, every tip that I am giving you is based on my experience as a makeup artist, and I have a dry skin. So what I'm doing on a daily basis really works for my dry skin, and I would think that everyone who has a dry skin probably struggle with fairly the same problem. So by using these type of products, so I would say go for products that are majoritarily cream product that have skincare into it. Set your product with a setting spray before you apply your powders. Stay away from foundation that is a compact powder. It's not going to help you, it's not going to serve you. Prime your skin and moisturizer. Your skincare routine is probably your biggest enemy or ally, depending on where you sit right now with your skincare routine. Go for products that are really rich, that has a rich base for your moisturizer, especially if you live in a cold country and now it's winter, you need to hydrate really nicely. Dermaplaning has been a game changer for me. It just removes the dead skin cells and it really improves the turnover. Injection, if it's something that you're keen. Retinoid will also help massively your skin cells turnover. So all things to be considered. Otherwise, cream product, you know, sometimes less is more as well. You don't have to wear makeup every day. You can go for a skin tint or more of a serum like foundation, or you can literally just add your foundation and your daily moisturizer, and it's going to give you a little bit more of a natural finish, a plumpy looking skin. And your skin is not going to be flaky or anything, but equally it's not going to be in place the whole day. You just gotta choose what you want to go with. I will leave down below in the description all the product that I have been using for today. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. If you've liked the video, give it a thumbs up and share with your friends. And I will see you next time. Big thanks for watching.